1.6.
Turn on, tune in, and do it fast. It's time for the Evercast. Are you ready to greet Ed, Rich, Crow, and Pete as they talk Evercade? Good times will never fade. Put away the switchblade, sheath the sword of Vienna. Stop the blaster master, there's no enemy below as we dip into euphoria. Turn on, tune in, and do it fast. It's time for the Evercast.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, Rich just appeared out of nowhere. He was.
Rich Gandalf. He joined when the thing was
You're the
going on.
last person I expected to see.
Joined right in the slipstream.
Well, welcome to Evercade podcast. It's me, Ed, and Crow, and Rich, and who knows, Pete may teleport in. You never know.
Yeah.
How's everyone doing?
Yeah, hanging in. Yeah.
Good. I was going to ask if Pete wasn't going to show up today for some reason because I didn't remember hearing anything that he was busy or whatnot.
No. Who knows? Family plans. I don't. Maybe wasn't he kind of feeling sick last time? So you never know.
That's true, but he was sick the last couple of weeks, so you think he'd be that good by now.
Yeah.
True. True. All right. So hopefully everyone's been doing good, been playing a lot of video games, avoiding the cold. Man,
Well, I'm about to play some video games, I think, because we're about to get walloped over here.
Yeah.
Snow.
Yeah.
Well, it got right now. I'm looking at the temperature. It's 1 degree.
Wow. That's chilly.
But I see in the chat people are talking about -30 with the wind chill. Oh, come on. That's amateur hour. That's not even close to the coldest with the wind chill I've ever been in. I can tell you exactly. It was -70.
It gets chilly over by you, that's for sure.
There's freezing rain. There's an advisory. Like I'll probably end up working home Monday because it's so, it's like unsafe. So yeah.
Yeah. It's getting crazy over here. Let's see what our forecast update is.
Probably a real thing.
Let's see here. We get all sorts of stuff. Man, they used to have the thing where it's nice and clear. It'd be like, yo, you are getting this. Now it's like, you might get this.
Yeah, they're talking about snow today, but I'm like, it's too cold to snow. Can't.
Yeah. Oh, they finally updated it. 7 to 13 inches of snow and ice accumulations up to 0.3 of an inch.
Yikes!
Yeah, we didn't get. We're not in the middle of that whole thing that's moving, but I think you're going to be in the middle of it.
Yeah. It's gonna be all sorts of up and down the coast too. Like I think they're predicting as far low as like the Carolinas or something like that. So
yeah, that's the funny thing is like it's going lower. So I don't know if the map I saw was temperature or snow accumulation. To be honest, all I know is that we were not in the middle of it.
Dez is confused. He's like inches and Fahrenheit. I don't understand USA talk.
Yeah, funny stuff.
It's good times. Yeah, it's it'll be cool.
So
but
Lloyd,
it's the perfect.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Lloyd, DR Jim must be in Antarctica if it's going to be -38 without the wind chill.
-38.
Yeah, no kidding, dude. No kidding.
Wow, that's nuts.
All right. Well,
I think technically the coldest place, at least the coldest city on Earth, is International Falls, Minnesota, where it's typically like snow there year round almost.
Oh wow, that's kind of wild.
So let's say hi to the chat real quick, and we can talk about some stuff. So we're just speaking to Lloyd JRM, and then Ross. I don't know 3 weeks of no video games ever. I don't know what you're talking about.
No.
Got Diaz, just the infamous Ian Hobbies, Morley, Ballistic Coffee Boy, enjoy the gifted free membership from last night. You can catch up. We got Dubs. We got the Evercade cheat Genejoke. You should check out his channel if you haven't.
Nice.
RT Retro Gaming. And so I showed kind of talking briefly about this to Crow, maybe something to kick things off. So there is it like if they do like at least one single cart this year, I think let me share my screen.
You mean a cart with one game on it, like full?
Yeah, I guess. Well, technically, it would be like three. It would be 3 games, but it's the same version. I'm sure you've probably seen like the Demon Claw, the Origins of Nar. Like I think you maybe have seen like this was like a Kickstarter.
That's kind of cool.
And it's an early access, so you can get it for $10. But the problem, right, because it is an early access, they use some weird web edge view framework that I've never even heard of. And so if you want to get this to work on Steam Deck, you have to like remap all your buttons to like the keyboard buttons use Proton Experimental. They only have the Genesis version, but they plan on making the Neo Geo version. And I think what they call modern, like it fits the full screen, and it's hard as hell, but
that's very cool.
I can make this. Can I make it bigger? There we go. But I just one of those. It's like when I played this, I was like, you know what, this would be like an awesome game to be on Evercade.
Oh, and you can do like different overlays to make
it's really tough though.
A different system. Okay, it's kind of cool.
Well, I think this was the one for Genesis. Yeah, I mean. Oh, and you may recognize that guy from the other character you can be from Astro Bros. I think it's like either is it made by those guys or I don't know. Gene can correct me.
It should be if they're using the same character.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's really hard though, but it just like the way that it looks and everything.
That's neat.
Like it belongs on an Evercade.
Yeah,
Bitstream.
Bitbeam Canon, huh? All right.
That's Genesis Neo Geo version.
Yeah, they have like
say modern.
Yeah,
but it's tough. Yeah, you can play Gareth from Demons of Astraborg modern. There we go. Yeah. Oh, Mega. Okay, thank you. Yeah, the Mega Drive port
the Mega Drive
is by the
Astraborg.
Okay. There. You can put it on the easy. Yeah. It's really tough.
Very cool.
It has that. It has that feel. I thought, we kind of would have been. You'd buy that on Evercade for sure, Morley. Yeah. Oh, Phantom snuck in. Didn't even see
What's
it.
up, Phantom? What's going on? Yeah, I mean, I'd be all about playing this. So early, very early. This morning, somebody actually messaged me and put a trailer in the chat about another game that's coming up, and I didn't know that was actually a thing. And at first I thought it was like a fan game, but apparently it's actually like a real deal thing. They're going to do a Masters of the Universe game.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
And it's like a classic beat 'em up kind of thing.
Yeah.
Here, let me see if I can find that trailer.
Yeah.
Real quick.
What a coincidence, you know?
You know what?
Yeah,
I'm
right?
not surprised. Because I know like the open bore engine, somebody had done like made a fan game out of that.
All right. So yeah, this one.
No, that is. Crow's on his birth certificate, dude. It is.
Yeah, Crow.
It's on his birth certificate.
Why
Let me
would
see if I can find a trailer on YouTube.
No, we don't even know his real name. God's honest truth. Like we don't. Crow. We don't know his. Somebody asked, and I was joking, saying, "No, it's Crow on his birth certificate." We don't even know.
It's just Crow.
He's talked about that. Like his friends would only know him as Crow. So.
Yeah, actually, that's true. Because when I invited them to my wedding, they didn't know who it was from. Actually,
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. I think there is a trailer.
Ooh, share.
Yeah, there has to be because I know I've seen it.
It's a pretty funny looking trailer. All right, so let's do this. Share screen.
We'll call him Wrestle.
Here you go. Like, there's Crow.
At last, Castle Grayskull is mine!
Not so fast, Skeletor.
This is pretty funny.
Whoa, what's happening?
He's
It's like
actually
a
have
commercial.
that.
Universe Dragon
Yeah.
Ball Destruction coming soon to all platforms?
Get the
Yes,
figures
it's He-Man
watching
and the Masters
commercial
of the
for game.
Universe, Dragon Pearl of Destruction. Intense beat-em-up action that puts the power in your hands.
And the cool thing about this
Grab
game
a friend and fight for
is
Eternia with
that
more playable heroes.
a,
Classic arcade
a
controls.
known
It's
developer
powered-up pixel perfection
for
for your gaming console or
Evercade
personal
Games
computer.
is the developer on this one.
He-Man and the Masters of the Universe,
This
Dragon
looks better than the new movie.
Pearl 2. From Limited Run Games.
So, but yeah, if you see this right here,
From Limited of Destruction, coming
Oh, Bitmap Bureau. Okay.
Hero. So
You
they've
say it
already
looks
done
better
stuff.
than the new movie, but the new movie looks better than the old movie.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I was like, they did the same premise and that they brought it into modern times. I'm like, no.
so that'd be pretty cool. I'd play this, like classic beat 'em up action
Every
With-
game is a perfect Steam Deck game. Sorry.
with the
Yeah, I know. This looks great. It looks like the turtle, like the modern Turtles version, but with a.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, those sprites look huge. Look at that.
Yes.
It's pretty rad.
When's that supposed to release?
No, they just announced it. I think. Let's see what the
I don't know
announced
about that
details are.
because I swear I've seen that like quite a few number of months ago.
Oh yeah, yes, you were correct. August 19th, so it has been out for a little bit. No comments. Yeah, they just said, hey, they announced it. So who knows? Hopefully it'll be coming out pretty soon. But that would be cool.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that.
Oh, and then since somebody did bring up, I think we may have talked about Eartheon. The Dubs brought that up. That like this shooter. Skip into it a little bit. Yeah,
Oh.
you can buy this right now on Steam for like $20, but
It's like an art type-ish.
shot sheet.
the ROM out there. If you want to play
Yeah,
it. Too.
with the bit with the
Yeah.
here we go.
Yeah, that's definitely art type.
But this
vibe.
would be another, yeah. This would be cool too. But yeah, the Masters of the Universe, that'd be awesome. I don't know though. Could Evercade run that? Could they run a port of that? Maybe.
What,
I mean, who
Masters
knows?
Universe? I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like anything that's sprite based, I would think that the Evercade could handle.
You know. Oh, so actually, speaking of trailers, and you guys can tell me if you disagree or agree with this,
I
but
disagree.
they recently just released. It was like a 60-second trailer advertising the VSR EXPR, saying like physical. Have you maybe I'll play that.
Saw
But
something they put out a video and I saw the title of it and I was like, I already know about this and I didn't even look at it. So what?
I can.
I didn't
can
know what the
find- but-
purpose of it was.
Well, the only thing I can think of, or what I was, just to advertise themselves. But when I was looking at that, I'm like, to me, it confirms that I don't think they're going to come out with like any other new hardware because they're really promoting.
I don't think there's going to be new hardware for at least like a couple of years.
Yeah.
If in fact they would do something like that, I could just as easily see them keeping the same hardware they have for many more years too.
Yeah. I mute the music because of the freaking copyright claims.
Yeah, I don't want to get the strike.
Sometimes, depending, but yeah, they're just like, well, that's just a claim, no monetization. Stupid. But yeah, so it's just it's them like hanging around, and they're really just showing their current product. So I don't think they would go to the trouble of doing that if they were going to come out with like an EXPR2 or something. I don't know.
Or this was an
been
ad they
stepping
meant
up
to
the
come
market.
out last year, and it just took them a really long time to make it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
It could.
it's
It could.
I mean, it's cool. The marketing is, the video's kind of, slick and like, very like professional commercially. So that's cool. And if they're going to use that to push out to more places and, maybe perhaps buy some advertisement space in like, retro-ish stores and such, to, branch out into new markets, then that's very cool.
Yeah, so Ian is saying, a lot of newcomers might as well sell as much of the current generation. Yeah, they did have young people in that commercial.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well,
I mean, like in their 20s.
Yeah, and the cool thing is, even in the like social channels that I've been following and seeing, that there are a lot of posts on like your Reddits and your Facebooks and all that kind of stuff. So it was like, hey, finally took the plunge, and here's my Evercade with my first couple carts. That a lot of posts since the holidays, which is really cool.
That's nice. And along that same vein, so here are my thoughts. Like I'll kind of explain. I don't see like Evercade as having like direct competition. And kind of what I mean, like Atari, yes, they're releasing single game carts. Mod Retro is kind of doing the same thing. Even Polymega with their separate collections.
Mm-hmm.
But like, if you look at like Evercade, like they have their own console, and you get more than one game, right? Like on average, you usually get like 4 or 6 games. And I don't see anyone else kind of like people are doing kind of similar, but I don't see anyone else coming up with their own ecosystem. So I don't know. Is it fair to say that Evercade doesn't really have any competition, or do they? What do you guys think?
I don't think that Atari is, even though they're releasing physical games, it doesn't feel the same. It feels entirely different. The closest thing I would think would be Polymega, since they're releasing those games on CD. It's like almost exactly the same thing. The only issue is that it's very difficult to get your hands on that system, and the games are way more expensive.
Yeah, and the price of the system. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Does that give them the advantage that no one else is doing this? Is it bad that there's no one else keeping things in check? I don't know. I kind of thought about.
Well, the fact that they've been around for 5 years already, it says that they have to be doing something right. People have to be buying it. They're doing well enough to keep going with it. So I don't see any issue.
Oh my goodness, Kurtikov is like, I suspect Atari will win. Those cards are tough and destroy the many little flimsy Evercade cards, especially the blue cards. Wow.
Yeah, the difference reason I say that Atari's not the same though is because when I buy that, it feels exactly like it did buying an actual game, like not just the Atari game, but like even like an NES game, an SNES game, because you're actually getting one game, one package. You get the manual and all that stuff. It is exactly like that. Whereas with the Evercade, it's similar, but the fact that it's a multi-cart, it's a bit different,
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I wondered. Like, is that good? Is that bad? Because it's good because it's French.
It's a good thing. I don't think they're really competing with one another. I really don't.
Yeah.
I don't think somebody's like, oh, should I buy an Atari 2600 Plus or should I buy an Evercade? I don't think anybody's asking that question.
Right. Well,
no.
Especially since now Atari's been legacy, those except for the Activision cart. So
yeah. Well, that you never know too. That they still have been collaborating even after the announcement of the legacy carts, because they still collaborated on the Super Pocket. After that, they collaborated on a couple other things too. So you never know. I think that relationship might be that maybe they're just working out a new deal, and something else is going to happen later, but who knows?
I always wondered if they would always wonder if they were going to do like an Atari bundle, Like maybe they're waiting for all 3 Activision collections. Maybe to your point, Rich, they'll bring back the first 2 Atari, or maybe they'll do another Atari collection.
I can see another Atari collection. I can't see them reissuing the older ones.
What if they did like an Atari 3?
Well, Arcade 3? Yeah. Why not?
Or just even a console. Like what about just more like 7,800, 2,600, maybe throw in a 52. I don't know.
Yeah. I would say I would probably lean more towards Atari Arcade 3 more than the others, but especially if Atari is because there's rumors that they might be moving in to scoop up some more licenses with the Warner deal possibly going through because some of those licenses that have been floating around in the ether might be a prime target for during the crossover of the sale once they figure out whoever's going to own the Warner stuff. Atari might be able to be like, oh, hey, let's just bring all the rest of the stuff back to Atari that's owned over on that side. And that could open the door for more arcade stuff. Stuff that I'd be looking for too, because there were some cool games.
Yeah, Atari.
There's certain games they shouldn't be putting on there, like they did. It's funny. Evercade Retreat said, I think we need Tempest on Evercade. Yeah, but have you forgotten we did get Tempest on Evercade? It was that prototype cartridge that they should have not put on the collection. Another game they shouldn't have put on there was Sword Quest, because there's no way to play it unless you have the actual manual and everything.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Netflix will make games exclusive to that. Oh my god. Yeah, no, I know that is frustrating, and don't do that or put any more games that aren't enjoyable without a trackball.
Yeah.
Or paddles or.
Oh, it's fine now because you can use a mouse.
Yeah, that's true.
But do you want to?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd rather use a mouse than a controller, given the option.
Yeah.
Interesting. So Joe's I feel Atari probably does an X number of years per cart. So suspect we saw more with Arcade 2. May just go Legacy in a couple of years. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, because we don't know the actual particulars of these deals, so who knows? Maybe they're all supposed to be Legacy at some point, so that they could just renew and then, redo the cartridges later. But in the beginning, I don't think I think everything was just an experiment. Get the deal done so we can get the carts out so we can see if this thing's going to work or not.
Definitely. Yeah, 100%.
And and how awesome did it? How awesome did it work out for them? Here we are still. The
question is, if somebody was new to Evercade and they really wanted those Atari collections, how difficult would it be just to get a used Atari collection Evercade cart?
Oh, on eBay or something? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, a used one. Yeah, I mean,
it probably wouldn't be absolutely terrible. Atari 1 is probably the most ubiquitous because it came with every Evercade in the beginning.
Actually, I don't know if this is right. I need to see sold prices. People are trying to sell Atari Collection 2 for $100. But let's see what actual
Atari 1 was all over Amazon, from the secondary market for the longest time for that reason. They're trying to I feel like that cart was everywhere, to your point, Rich.
Well, the first 3, depending upon which premium pack you got, Interplay 1 and Atari 1 were pretty ubiquitous. But then it was between Data East and Namco Museum, I think, because Namco was never here in the States. So
okay, I don't understand this. Why are Atari carts? I've seen Atari Collection 1. No, I'm seeing both of them. People are buying them from between $20 to $90, and in a very recent time frame. So I don't understand how somebody last week had bought Atari Collection 2 for $20, and then but 3 weeks ago somebody bought it for $90.
I
think somebody's getting ripped off.
Yeah, right.
Either that, or they used a secondary account to jack up the price, hoping that'll be I don't know, they're bidding against themselves.
Yeah.
So here's another.
It's a losing battle though, because then you gotta spend money.
Yeah. No, I know. So the Phantom brought this up, and then I saw the chat ran with it. So would an online leaderboard, would that be huge for Evercade?
I'd like it.
It'd be
Or do
interesting.
you think it would be cool, but would it really change?
Here's the problem.
Yeah.
They would have to implement some like major sort of anti-cheating protocol, because I would think that it would be just so easy to cheat and all the scores just be invalidated right from the start.
Well, I guess would it be, like maybe they would say like you can't upload a score unless you're in competition mode, which kind of shuts down some of that stuff.
Even with competition mode. You see, I remember back like when PlayStation 2, when I was playing like Hot Shots Golf online. Hot Shots Golf 4 had online mode. I'd play online. It was fun, but you couldn't really trust anybody else's score, because how does somebody get a hole in one on every hole? It's impossible.
Right. Yeah. Well, but like, how do were they like injecting?
Yeah, they were injecting code, and I'm sure that people would find a way to do the same thing with this.
Got it.
Well, I mean, it's built in like Murtop as QR codes, but I wonder what if you had to do competition mode to like get the to get the QR code, like that would be the only way to get it to work. Unless I think you mentioned this before too, Crow, that people could use like built-in cheats in the games. Like
it'd be really easy to disassemble that QR code, rebuild your own, and scan your own fake scoring.
Yeah, see, that would suck. That would ruin the fun.
Like, okay, I suppose Atari figured a way. I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention to those leaderboards. Like, if people figured a way to reverse engineer those QR codes and put up their own fake scores for those games, but I don't know.
I could see you doing that just to prove that it could be done.
I wouldn't care about leaderboards so much. I don't know. I mean, it'd be interesting, but I just if they could manage to do it in a way where nobody could actually cheat it for some reason.
Yes.
What would be more interesting would be achievements, I think.
I'd love achievements.
Yeah.
And like interesting ones. They would, like a cool set that you could like, casually play and get your like, like 100% a game or like that kind of stuff, and then like have like a mini list that wouldn't like, because I like the Sony side of achievements. I like the platinum, kind of thing.
I mean,
like allow yourself to get the platinum by doing like not ridiculous things, but then having like the sub list, for like DLC and stuff, where you can still get the platinum, but it wouldn't be like, like super crazy.
Because I've done that where I've played a game and like I finished a game, but then I was like, well, let's see, like how close I am to getting all the achievements and how doable is it? And I'd look and be like, okay, let me play a little bit more and try and get them all.
Yeah.
So why not retro? So why not retro achievements? Just just.
It is a valid thing.
Like, look at all these.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. It's like I kind of poked my head into there just a little bit. Like I have an account and everything. I just never really used it. But it seems like anybody could come up with their own achievement list. I think that some games have multiple different achievement lists. So I don't know, like how that actually works, or if I'm just not looking at it right.
Well, they have two different. I like how they have two different kinds. Like they have like the easy ones where you can use like save states, and then if you connect like through RetroArch, if you wanted the hard ones, like it disables. It disables them. They could kind of do the same thing with competition mode, but I feel like everything is in place. I mean, if all these handheld, all these handhelds out there that can like all these Ambernicks can do it. Like that's all they'd have to do is just build it. Like,
well, see, again, I don't know like how open source retro achievements is. Can somebody sell a product that connects to it, and do they have to pay a license for that?
Right. Well, that is the thing. That's the sticky wicket, right? As it were. Because you don't know the answer to that unless
find an FAQ, because not that EmuDeck, not that they sell EmuDeck, but they do. Well, you can sub to their Patreon, I guess, for early access, but yeah, it's built into that. So,
but given the way Blaze is, I would think that they wouldn't want to rely on that, and if they did it, they would come up with their own achievements and implement their own system.
Yeah, well, because then they own the support on it.
That's what Ryan said, They don't have the bandwidth.
But then
for that.
they're spending a lot more time working on it, and I don't know if they really have the manpower or time to be doing
Yeah.
that, you know?
Right. Yeah, because they have their own ambitions about what they want to be doing.
Yes.
You know, and yeah, I mean, all these community features are great, and we would love them. But yeah, that's the unfortunately that's the stark reality, right? Oh no.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't because their service. I mean, their service is free. So I think anybody that
a lot
that
of
enables
times it's free, but it's not available for commercial. Like you can't implement it into a
Yes.
product and then sell that product.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want it to be officially supported, then I'm sure someone along the way would want, you know, some kind of fee, like even if it was just
There's a way around that. I think. What if like when you have Evercade, that it's not actually there. Like you click on it, like you go to the menu, click on the thing for retro achievements, and then it goes to a website and it downloads it and installs it. Like it's not actually sold with it.
Yeah, but then you're allowing you're allowing non-native Evercade code to go on a device, and I'm sure Ryan would not like that.
True.
Yeah, I don't think you download anything from Retro Achievements. I think it's all web-based. So like you connect with your account, and I don't know how it's interpreting the code or whatever, but I don't think you install anything on your computer.
Sorry, my friend. No, you're wrong. They do require accounts, but they're stored in Retro Achievement servers. There's nothing to do with the device. They don't, it's not stored locally.
You would still have to put in login information into the Evercade if you were going to connect to Retro Achievements.
Yes.
But again, I don't know if that type of thing would be allowed.
Yeah, or they'd have to pay. Yeah, it's just like how MAME is free, but then if you're going to use it for commercial, you have to buy like a license. Yeah. But the answer, though, I didn't like. It was not Ryan Blaze, but I didn't like his answer. He didn't say. He just said we would want to. He just said we would want to do our own thing. Like we wouldn't want to use something. We wouldn't want to use something somebody else did. But he didn't sound like though it wasn't because of money. I don't know. It was kind of a weird answer. I think it's honestly. I just think it's something that they don't care about and they haven't looked into. That's my.
Well, they probably did look into it, but they just. And you gotta think that they're not going to 100% give you the honest answer 100% of the time if they don't want to let loose some information they don't want to let loose.
Yeah. Well, I say that because it takes Blaze. It takes a while for us to get features that RetroArch has. That's all.
Yeah, but RetroArch's an open source engine that doesn't really care about doing things like in the way that publishers may or may not want them to be done. It's great. It's great when you're running things open and free. And it's great for the consumer. But again, when you're a company and you have to, when you have to go by terms of service that is dictated by the companies you're trying to work with, then that's your limitation.
No, I feel like that instead of paying licenses or paying to use existing tools, that Blaze decided to rewrite and do their own thing, and it's made it more complicated. I mean that was their
the other thing is and to their credit, it does keep their platform secure. There are ways to do the things that naughty people like to do with the Evercade products, but natively
also,
it's pretty difficult unless you're willing to do things that like break all of the terms and EULAs and all that stuff. So
also imagine if they did somehow come up with some sort of system that did connect to Retro Achievements, and then all of a sudden Retro Achievements changes or goes away, and all of a sudden you have a feature on the Evercade that's no longer usable.
Yeah.
But that's the way that Roguecraft and Full Void did it. They would have to go back and add it themselves, have it be offline. They don't have it be stat, but it would take them too long. Oh my God, you don't want to know.
Yeah, they're not going to do that. And those achievements exist because the developers actually baked it into the game.
But no, I definitely think it would be. I don't know. I think it would be worth it because people love their achievements. I mean, just look at Sony, Microsoft, Steam. People love their achievements and everything. And it is.
Oh yeah, I'm a huge fan of that.
It is fun. It does, like I think you'd mentioned earlier, Carl, like it adds replay, but it does have replayability. Like go back and you want to unlock the thing, and it's fun for it to pop up. And
Yeah, like if you really want to get all the achievements, you probably work hard at it.
I was gonna say, Dubs, that is the competition, the free. That is like the. So you sure so. No, that's the one thing that I always say. Like, if you can get it done in a free product, a paid for product, should definitely have it. Now, Blaze does a better job than most of like digital games that you can download like through Steam. Like they have like a crap interface for like adjusting like resolution and settings. Like Blaze is all like they make it very simple. And we did eventually get dip switches in AES mode. So I guess some stuff better late than never, but I hope they continue that trend.
Well, it just takes a long time to get it to work. Again, the way that they are intending it to work on their system, right? Just because somebody else has it doesn't mean that it works 100% on every single ROM and every single emulation base. So they take the time, they test it, they get it right, and then they put it out, right? So
I would love to. Yeah, they would never share. I would geek out of that. I would love to know that process, right? Like I would.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah.
Like
that would be cool.
What framework? Where do you inject the emulators? What is it using? Like, yeah, I would love that. Like how see take back the curtain and see how all that works. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I do know is like they're always at it. They're always at something. It's not like they're like, oh hey, we're gonna just like not work on XYZ. They're always up to something, which is cool.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, I would like an honest answer. Like I'm like, well, like
no,
like what, like be like, why didn't y'all go with Retro? Does RetroArch not have a commercial license? Was that I thought they did at one point use RetroArch and then they switched. If I remember, I thought they said they switched over to something else. And
I think you might be right about that. Yeah.
And then didn't it like break a lot
early
of things?
days? I think you're right.
Yeah, didn't it break like a lot of things and then they had to fix all those things? Like it was kind of the
yeah, which is the reason I think they wound up going with their own internal stuff. But the cool thing is, it's with a very, very, very few exceptions, most of these games when you play them, like they play, precisely to what you might expect as a consumer. So
yeah,
and it like even when playing some of these old games, right? Like even playing the Activision games, they feel accurate. Right, which is good because there are some times where you could play some emulations on even in Ambernick or something like that, and you're like, yeah, it feels pretty close, but that's pretty close, right? You already know that there's something up, right? Where consistently when I'm playing Evercade, it's like, oh, this is just as good as me putting that cart inside my 2600, which is what you want, which is cool.
Yeah. No, they did an awesome job, and they've done something right. Being in 5 years, I'm just saying, I think they could do more.
Yeah,
I think they could do more.
Yeah, why not?
Do more. I was gonna say, since GameStop has been running into more trouble, I was like, well, maybe they could get into those stores, but
yeah.
Why would you want to run onto a sinking ship?
Yeah,
but GameStop is an interesting thing right now. That's for sure. Because I mean, it's kind of hard though when your major source of new revenue, new products, is kind of like actively seeking your destruction on all three sides. So it's like it's a hard place to be in.
Actually,
and then of course your RetroArm has a problem because you're reliant on the customers to give you the products that they're looking for, but no one wants to give up the products because we're all collectors.
I actually think GameStop's main appeal now is collectibles and not anything to do with games.
Yeah. I mean, they truly are like a lifestyle store now. Like you go in and you get your cool collectible things from Think Geek and and you get your shirts and your pops and in some circumstances, magic cards and all that fun jazz. They're doing the PSA grading things now. So
Pokemon, they're doing it. But I feel like they were like Blockbuster and that they bought up like Electronic Boutique or EB Games. Like they bought up all these other shops like Blockbuster bought up all those other like video rentals, and so then if that one thing dies, and all those other cool franchises that we had, like, are dead. I mean, maybe
Yeah,
they're dead.
I mean, it is a story of like almost like
etc.
rabid survival. You know,
Yeah.
they buy all those companies because they had assets. You know, and those assets were products. You know, they had stuff that they could put on the shelf. You know.
Yes.
So,
Well, see, like, I bet GameStop probably really is like mad at Nintendo because with the physical media and then having to tell people like, no, we don't. Yeah, I don't know if they would take those like those downloadable trade-in games. Like, no, we don't want that. It's not the game isn't. I don't know. Maybe they do.
What downloadable trading game?
Oh, he's talking about the cartridges that are just keys. I mean, you still
key,
download
yes.
the game.
Oh
but you
yeah,
have to
the
use the
game
cartridge.
cards for
Yeah.
the Switch. Oh
But,
yeah.
but you know what? That's what games have been already. I mean, even if there was code on
Yeah.
the disc, you don't. It still downloads the whole thing from the internet anyway. We're talking about like even back going back as far as like PS4. I think games were like that.
Yeah. Yeah, but who will? But yeah, it's. I see some people like like leaderboards and achievements would be cool, but then on the flip side, does that make it like too modern? Would that just be another headache for Blaze to deal with on top of everything else?
Where am I at now?
What are you playing, Rich?
Yeah, I know. I get excited.
I'm playing Skyjinx. I should put myself in the box.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought I heard clickiness.
Here, let me see here. There I am. Okay. Hey, I got another patch.
Sweet.
36.68. Gotta get below 37. I'm on speedrun.com right now. And I was like, you know what? I'm warming up to be able to play. So I've got the Skyjinx world records up.
So you know what, Rich? Okay.
I'm currently ranked 13th. If I submitted the score, I'd be on the leaderboard as number 13.
Damn. You know what? Okay, here's what Blaze should have kind of along this. Here's what they should have done, kind of on an experiment, because they would. I mean, they have to know like how important patches. Like they could have built. What if they just like had built something in where like it would just keep track of like when you earn patches and you could see all your patches. Like just for
that
this
would be cool. Like a method inside the cart that does things like, you know, like were related to what was around when the game came out, like as like a historical record. That would be rad, like super rad, you know, because then you could have like a little mini profile. You could like have the like if you loaded this game, for example, right, and you had the patch, right, you could just have the, you know, like a literal just a PNG just show up on the side. Did I just lose my mind?
Yeah, imagine instead of a cart slot if it just said patches. And then you just clicked on it, and it could be something very, very basic. It just would show you the game and if you've earned the patch.
Yep.
And the save data would stay with the cart. I mean, that would have been like that. I mean, that would have been kind of cool.
It's a good run.
I don't know if that would be really necessary because if you know what the score is, you need to beat to get the patch. You're gonna kind of know anyway. What I was just thinking was that would have been interesting if on the cart itself, if you could pull up the original game manual, because that would be where that information would be.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Something. Yeah. That. Yeah. At least. Or like if they wanted to do like a limited time promotion, maybe you could for like maybe one game you could actually send in for a physical patch, or if you completed the whole thing, something, I don't know, something like that to create more hype.
That would be kind of cool. Yeah, if you got like the patch scores on there and like have them verified.
Yeah.
And like you could get like a patch that looks like the cart or something like that. That'd be kind of fun.
Digital version of the manual. Digital version of the manual. I'm so surprised Blaze hasn't done that yet.
Or, you know what? Those Neo Geo Pocket collections, they had like some of the best stuff because they not only did they have the manuals, and not only did they have like every version, like if they had the US version and the Japanese version, but you also had the game boxes that were 3D and you could turn around and look at and stuff.
Ooh. So leaderboards and achievements would give more playability. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think. Yeah. I wish they could have start somewhere. Like at least if they just did this with this collection, like Murtop just happened to have it built in. But if they just did something, and then they could see if people liked it, and then maybe they just make it cart based, like with achievements. I don't know. But we'll just have to. Things are too tiny for me.
I don't remember. Does Antstream have achievements? I know they have challenges. I don't know if they have achievements.
I think they only have like those little mini challenge thingies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't think they have achievements. That would be cool though.
I was thinking if they had challenges, that it would be easy for them to have achievements too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you would think, because they're already isolating whatever that is for the challenge. They could just say, "Oh, you've met this requirement. Here's a little." It would just be as simple as like, "Here's your checkbox. You did the thing," and you just put it on your profile. No.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, if it wasn't for Evercade, I'd probably be on Antstream a lot more.
Yeah. The only bad thing about Antstream is like it doesn't have like all of the things that I would like to play at any given time.
Well, you could say exactly the same thing with Evercade.
That's true. Yeah, as I was saying that, I was like, well, they're not all of the carts I want are out yet.
Yeah, but like the two biggest problems with Evercade is kind of what we're talking about is kind of like why should I buy and play this when I could play it on when there's a lot of other platforms where I could download it for free.
Playing with fire.
Like physical media is a great reason, but I feel like Blaze still hasn't fully solved that problem and adding little things like achievements, exclusive games, and then the other thing is I kind of feel like nobody knows about it unless you're seeking the retro space. Like,
I mean, there's a lot of people that don't care if the game is physical or not. They're just, as long as they can play the game, that's all they care about. But like but I guess the Evercade is for people that actually want to have a physical cartridge and collect. It's a collectible. It's like if you want to collect it, because I mean, there's not really much of that elsewhere. Like if you think about it, like a lot of games are only released digitally now, and a lot of times, even with like PS5 and stuff, if you go to the store and you buy a physical disc, you're still downloading the whole game to play it anyway.
Yeah. Exactly. It's just from time to time I'll see like people's comments. They're kind of to your point, like they want to be given a reason like to buy into the Evercade ecosystem. Like, is there some really cool exclusive game? Is there something different that they're offering other than the physical media? Because
I think that's it. I think that's really just it. Physical media. I think that's the only thing. If somebody doesn't care about the physical media, there's really no reason for them to get into the Evercade.
Unless they just want the plug and play, right?
Yeah,
exactly. That's how I kind of feel about because that's how I kind of feel about the Game Station Pro, right? Like, let it go. Like, unless you want something officially licensed for Atari and you just want something plug and play, I kind of, I kind of feel that same way. If
you don't want to mess with emulators yourself, I guess that is an option too. I just never really thought of that because it's so easy to really do your research. They have websites. You could just go on the website and play the game through an emulator right through the website. So, it's like,
I wonder if
that's
into the last one.
Yeah, that's where Evercade falls into industry because like with the games with the Game Station Go, like that's something for for the mom or dad who's not like they want to play those Atari games, but they don't have the time. They don't want to do like to your point. They don't want to do the research. They just want something. Because I kind of feel like those people probably don't even care, wouldn't even bother to load ROMs like on an SD card slot. I feel like unless you get it for really cheap, like Rich did, once you start to like throw ROMs on it, then I'm like, well, then you might as well have gotten a different device.
However, I mean, and in early days yet, but it does feel different. That is for sure. Playing games on that thing feels a whole lot different than even on the Evercade.
Yeah.
So,
however, what I would love to see if they did like a custom community built firmware, then that device has the potential where you could like if load up maybe certain Steam games and and then a better way to load your. I don't know, but then it's like, why not just get a Steam Deck? That's
well, because the Game Station goes $100.
You got lucky. You got lucky for that price.
I guess so.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah,
man, that is true. Because some of those warehouse places, they really do. They get their things in for the holidays and then they just get rid of it. So yes, I do feel lucky about having that, because if it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't have gotten one at all.
Well, yeah, but really, like hardware wise, like actually for the Evercade itself, I think maybe the only complaints I have is like Bluetooth would be. I mean, like, a little modern conveniences like Bluetooth would have been nice.
Mm.
But like that,
I'm fine with it not being wireless. And honestly, if you wanted a wireless controller, you could plug in a dongle. Like the 8-bit though stuff, you could use that wirelessly. You just plug in the dongle.
I do that. And then like with the hot dog controller that I have, if I wanted to even like, I could plug it in.
I don't think they really need to offer it because it would just add cost to it, and not everybody would use it.
Yeah. Ooh, so David, yes, actually, I think people like what would be. They should do something like a club Evercade where you go one step above that, where like you pay like every month you would actually get sent a cart, and then you could get goodies or maybe every. I don't know, that would be cool, but I don't think they have the infrastructure to handle it.
I don't think they want to do that because I don't think they want to touch any sort of subscription model.
Cockers, yeah.
I keep
Do you think? Ooh, here's another good question. Do you think there's a particular reason that they don't do the indie releases anymore? What would probably bring more people?
I think they are going to do more indie releases. They just haven't gotten enough to put in a collection, or they're still working their way through, that stuff. A lot of times they might even be like getting signing up games to put on Evercade that aren't even done yet, and they have to wait for these games to be done.
Yeah, that could be true.
Well, so here's so I think I kind of have an answer. Here's the thing, like, and I think we've talked about this. Like, those indie games, they don't initially bring somebody to the platform. Some like big names like Activision, Neo Geo, but I think once you get hooked in the platform, then you're looking for more, and that's where I think that shines. And so I think
I think you're right about that.
I think you need to have that. But the other thing is, there's like, unfortunately, there are like a lot of struggling developers out there. They would love to just like, I don't want to say they would give their game away for free, but just to have the exposure in the advertising, it would be huge for them just to have that like on a card. Like, it's not like physical.
Putting the game on the Evercade is not giving the game away for free. There's still
no
some sort of
no, but I'm saying they would be willing to, like Indie Heroes. They kind of had to do that. That's what I'm just saying. Like, getting a licensing deal would not be that hard, because in the sea of like so many games, they would any other exposure. Like, for them, it would, if they got paid nothing for them, it would be worth it for the free advertising, just to get into it. That's all I'm saying. So it's like Blaze should be able to strike up a deal, unless they get like some stingy ass people. But I don't know. I feel like it's different when you're dealing with like smaller companies and individual developers and like huge corporations. But yeah, well, literally that's what I just said, Gene. But once you get in there, though, then you want something different. And so I think you need both. Then that would be special, physical, cool, different indie games. Ooh,
you also have to keep in mind, there's also like companies like Premium Edition and Limited Run that are taking those indie games and making physical editions out of them for like the Switch, PS5, whatever.
Yeah,
and that might be some sort of competition where licensing agreement may not allow them to put it on the Evercade, at least like right away, or at least it's within a certain time frame or something, depending on what that agreement was.
True. Yeah, so here's funny that you mentioned that, because I'll never forget, what was this, like 2 years ago, before the Super Pockets came out. I remember when Sean came on our podcast, and he talked about that and said they were very popular. The small screen handhelds aren't as much, and then what do? They release small screen handhelds, and then they go even smaller with the micros. Like, they did the opposite of what he said with the way the market was going. So
yeah, but technically that was Hyper Megatech. It wasn't Blaze.
Yeah,
that was a pretty good one.
Nice.
3626. Now I'm in 12th place.
A clamshell, yes. I would love a clamshell Evercade, and just like keep the Activision or Atari collection in there. If they could make it of quality, that would be great.
Clamshell Evercade. What would be the point though if there was not two screens?
It's more portable. Like, I don't want to put the Super Pocket in my pocket without some type of protection on it. And they don't make like I don't want to make a screen protector for
I can
it. I don't-
3D print a case for it. I mean, there are
If it's
people that
something-
sell. There are people that sell. I mean, cases for any kind of Evercade Super Pocket. You put it if you're that worried, you put it in a case.
It's too bulky though. Like I want something I can fit like on top of my phone in my pocket. And I did love that about the Game Boy Advance SP. Like I could do that. But that would be for portability. I mean, the Miu like with the Mayu Mini Flip, there's kind of that. I don't know.
Is it because you're worried about scratching the screen? Because
Yes, that's exactly like that. Yeah, clamshell protects it.
do you put like I don't put like if the glass if the whatever plastic or glass or whatever they use is durable enough, it's not going to scratch. Like I don't know how long it's been since I've put like any sort of screen protection on my phone whatsoever, and it's in my pocket all day, and I've never had a problem with it getting scratched.
Yeah, the phone's a lot better quality. Than like a Super Pocket. Everybody wants it.
Even with the portable Evercade, I'd throw that in my pocket, without worrying about it.
Yeah, you can. And maybe that's why they haven't. Well, dude, you could build one, but
That's what I'm saying. I could bet in like less than a minute, I could probably find something to 3D print that somebody's already made, like a cover for an handheld Evercade or Super Pocket. In fact, I probably
maybe something that would just cover the like a faceplate. That's all that I would want.
In fact, I'll look right now. Let's see.
Yeah, it would be cute. But and again, that's the problem with having like I'm not taking my limited edition like that. And then I don't know. And then it protects the butt like a clamshell, like it protects the buttons and like it protects itself. But maybe there's something that steps over it. I don't know.
Okay.
Like clamshell the large screen, maybe. Do they make those screen protectors for those pricey keychains? Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'll not do that.
But yeah, no, I just with the bigger screens. No, it was just kind of funny, like doing the opposite. But I remember when initially EXP did come out, that was a little bit disappointed they at least didn't go with a 4-inch screen, since they'd gone through the trouble of making like something like change it a little bit. No, the exact same size. It is a good screen though. It really is a good screen. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Those keychains do have the NES ROMs on them, but I think they kind of had to.
Well, another thing,
something like the keychains. I don't want to support that. Super Pockets, I'm kind of on the fence too, because it's all like. Actually, we could do the same thing with the Alpha.
You could instead of like an actual physical shield on top, you could get the film to put on top of that, the anti-scratch film, and you just make sure you get one that's the size you need.
Yeah.
Oh no.
No, you can. So I guess more in that conversation. Okay, so Joe's taking up a step further. He said it may be because a bigger handheld wouldn't be cost prohibitive, which is something I've been saying for us. So would you buy an EXP XL with a bigger screen and analog sticks? Like
I would
like double or double. Yeah. So for like $250 to $300. Hell no.
I wouldn't, because I really only play on the VS.
Me too. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I don't know. I mean, that might something with another interface, like analog sticks or some other thing, kind of like the Game Station Go, right? If they had added some other controller interface onto the handheld, I might play a little more. I mean, Obviously, they would probably put out a controller that you could plug into the VS, but I think it's because I sit here and record most of the things that I do on Evercade, which is the reason why I play on VS so much.
Me too. It would need to be closer to the 150, but right now, see that right now it's 130 with the See, that's the problem. So what's interesting is I hear like a lot of people like existing customers. Yes, you all would, but Blaze doesn't care about existing customers. They care about new customers. That's kind of the
I think they do care a bit about existing customers, because if they didn't, why wouldn't they would have no reason to release new cartridges.
Well, because you sell the new hardware. I mean, but like their business model, it's totally geared towards, totally geared towards new. I mean, they'll do things like dip switches.
You would imagine that they would be making some sort of profit on cartridges they sell too. So
no, they do.
Yeah,
they do.
So they would want to sell as many cartridges as they can as well. I mean, you can only sell the same hardware so many times.
Yeah. But so the thing though, but I don't want the Game Station Go screen though. That would be a noticeable downgrade from the EXP. That's the problem. It would need to be the EXP quality screen, and I think that would be more expensive. I say it was a sale.
It was funny you were talking about a bigger EXP, and my mind started thinking, that's kind of like the Alpha.
Yes, true.
And now I can't even remember. That doesn't have. Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say, it doesn't have a built-in battery, but that doesn't matter because you can plug it into a portable battery pack.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. Carrying whistle sting afloat. But that's what I mean though. Like, of course, like, yes, they care about like their existing customers, but they care more about new customers, getting people in, having people spending money, buying all the carts, getting like that fresh income.
I mean, they want to do both. I can't see them focusing on one rather than the other because they both tie in hand. The bigger the customer base you get, the chances you're going to sell more cartridges.
True.
Yeah, because you never know if that next new customer is going to become one of us.
True.
Just buying everything.
For new generation. So you have to I always wondered about that. Like if a cart, going back to the old prices, if a cart sold for 20, are they selling usually markup on stuff is what, like 50%? So are they selling them to, let's say, like a seller for like $10, but they have to buy like X amount. Then are they getting then how much? Then like what is how much are they getting of that like $10? Like are they getting? I'm afraid
you've completely lost me with what.
Well, so a cart retails for 20, but usually like someone like Songbird isn't buying them for resellers or sellers. They're not buying stores and buying them for full price. Usually it's like a 50% markup. So let's say they're buying them for $10, but they have to buy 1,000 of them. Okay. And then of that $10 of like profit for Blaze, let's say it costs like $5 to make them. Then do they get like a $3 profit per cart? And then does like the publisher or whoever they make the licensee
get like
don't
know what the agreement with, like if Pete was here, he'd probably have he probably would know. I really don't know the
one show he doesn't show up. Yeah. So that's why I think that's why when you're buying them directly from Funstock, then they're getting 100%. So then then they're getting the full retail price because they're not having to go through. And I think that's obviously why they promote Funstock, and they'd rather you buy it through them than going through Songbird or someone else. Because it's
their own store, but yeah. Like even if we could buy from them at the moment, I wouldn't, because I have like if they were the only place they get it from, or like they only had that one version that all those carts had that Peggy version on it, then I'd probably buy from Funstock maybe. But the fact that I could buy from other retailers and not have a Peggy logo on the game, that alone is worth it to me, not to buy from Funstock.
That's your right or die. Yeah.
Yep. If that is the option, and I'm not picking on Peggy. It would be the same thing if it was the ESRB logo. I'd rather without the ESRB logo than with one.
Yeah. No, for me, it's more about like the shipping and getting it on time and the cost. I think the last thing I bought from them, actually, no, it was the special edition EXP and VS. Those are the two because exclusive consoles,
So here's the interesting question. So what happens this year if all of this stuff, the crazy nonsense has been going on for a while between US and other territories and all that, right? So what happens if that continues? And then Blaze does put out something that is limited edition and exclusive to Funstock. What happens?
You can't buy it unless you find somebody else to get it for you and ship it.
Well, does that discourage Blaze from putting out a product?
I don't think so.
No,
because
that's an interesting question, right?
I think they're mainly focused on Europe.
Yeah, But I mean, to have something like that and isolate the United States market would be a difficult. I think it would be a difficult proposition, right?
I
But they
think
are doing it because think about it. They have stuff that they only sell on that store that you
Well,
can't
yeah.
get.
I mean, the tchotchke stuff is one thing. Like putting out like a limited edition product that isolates the or freezes out the U.S. market just based on. I mean, it's the U.S.'s decision, right? It's not that they're doing this deliberately, but obviously. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I think that would be a tough consideration.
Are they just not selling it because they would have to market way up for US? Is that it?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think
well,
it might be a consideration where the product would be so cost prohibitive to ship to the United States that they believe that the U.S. market would do it. But I always argue in those cases, and will continue to do so, that it's always better to give the consumer the choice as to whether or not they want to spend the extra money in order to get your product in the door.
I agree with that.
I think so. Here's I think there's a simple reason why you can only get the special editions from Blaze, because they get 100% of the profit. It's coming directly for them. If they wanted to do a special edition, now that we have different U.S. suppliers, they could still send them to the Songbird or VGA and have a limited quality be sold for them of those special editions. I just don't think they want to do it because they make more money if it's being sent to them, because they know people will go to great extents and order it. But then going back to your point, Rich, what if they can't do it at all? Like they come out with the Neo Geo Alpha, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let's say it's like the red special edition. It's like, oh, this is awesome, and you can't even buy it from them. Yeah, I think it would be a bad move to not let other suppliers sell it. I think that would piss a lot of people off.
Well, I mean that's my fear, because as it was also one of my predictions for the year that I never made a video about, but and probably should. I really do think we're going to get as a celebration of the ending of the Neo Geo deal time frame, that 2 years. I really do think we're going to get an MVS Alpha.
Yes,
that's going to be. I mean, they could just do a standard edition Alpha, to be honest. And really, hey, it's just like an MVS, but I think they can do something special with it. And
no, definitely. And I only think to the extent of saying, if Blaze, if they, I don't think that I think if they just stayed inside of their own market, if they, let's say if you could only buy the stuff like in England, like in England and some of Europe, I'll even say, let's say if you could only buy an Evercade in the UK, I don't think they would have survived 5 years. I think they needed those other markets. I think they need the US market. I don't think they would have been nearly successful if it was just.
You really don't know. I mean, they wouldn't have made as much money, but
without knowing their sales numbers,
profitable.
Yeah. Either that, or I think they just would have. Or let's say if it was that way, I think it just would have flipped over to just like C64. I don't think they would have been able to get like Activision or those other bigger licensing deals or Neo. I think it would have been a totally different product. It would have just been geared towards.
I think they could have done it, but without like the U.S. market, I don't know if they would have actually put it out.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, because you need especially gaming now, it just becomes so much more global. That's why it's just like, you don't want a product that's like exclusively only available in the United States. You want it to be global.
But then again, they may have, because one of the things that you guys say you like about the Evercade was discovery, and if in Europe they're not familiar with the Atari products or Activision products, they may still put it out there just because it would be something that they're not familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
Yes and no. But the funny thing is, there's a lot of people out there that like kind of feel about Atari like I do, like C64. I don't know. Who knows?
And that's a funny thing about all those C64 collections. All of those games, except for the Epix ones, are not ones that I'm familiar with at all, because they weren't American companies, I guess. I'm more familiar with the games that are from Accolade, Electronic Arts, what else? Mindscape.
Mm-hmm.
So DES, you're a complete moron. You misread what I said. I didn't say the world revolves around the U.S. market. I said it had to be global. And Pete, who actually has experience in the gaming industry, said that if you want to get the gaming market, you do also need to get the United States, because gaming is kind of a big deal here as other parts of the world. Sorry.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
What I say.
the question was like, of course they want to get their product out as worldwide
Yes.
as they can,
Yes.
but if they couldn't sell to the U.S., if they only were limited to Europe for whatever reason,
Yes.
would they have done the same thing? And I'm starting to think that probably.
Yeah. He's like, that's not nice. Whatever, dude. Then unsubscribe for me. I don't care. Sorry. You pissed me off. Sorry. I'm sorry.
What? He's being.
That's how I feel.
No.
Dude, I don't. I really.
I mean,
I don't like.
It's a little harsh, though. You know.
Yeah, it is.
I don't like when people. No, people like will push my buttons in an unplayful way.
Yeah,
Like,
you know, there's no need.
You know what you got to do? You got to make your buttons harder to push.
Yes.
True.
That is
Because some people accidentally
lesson
push
of the
buttons.
internet. That is absolutely the lesson of all of the internet.
Yeah.
Harden thyself.
All I can say is take a lesson from Immortal or take a lesson from Gene. They know how to be playful.
But they're
They know
not
how to
giving
be-
lessons.
Dude, just move. Like, I don't care, DS. Just move on.
Oh no,
Move on. I don't care. Just move on.
the balloons.
Yeah. No,
You know
and it's
what
because
the
it's
thing
him
is?
too. Like he's one of those button pushers. I like him. I enjoy, but he's one of those button pushers.
You know what the weirdest thing is about the past like 20 minutes? Is I've been playing this, and every time I look over to the screen, I have like the screen scroll effect on my eyes. Like,
So you're seeing everybody moving?
yeah, I looked over and I saw the chat, and it looked like all the chat was moving really fast. Talk about being locked in.
Harsh. Ooh, chat's coming out. At least you didn't get blocked without an explanation. That's funny. Did I ever do that to you, David? Oh my goodness.
No.
Sorry, I totally derailed and distracted from whatever the hell we were
It's all
talking
good. So,
about.
oh no.
But no, kind of back. But no, I know like what you were saying, where it's like it's one thing to not be able to buy like calendars and the other like pins and cool collectibles, but for like a major product.
Yeah, no, I think that I honestly think that would hurt them if they had to make that decision and then they decided to make it region exclusive. I definitely think that would be a decision that would hurt them in the long run.
Yeah.
But
although they've done things to kind of split the community before, which I think now it's like normal. But remember, like when the EXP came out and all those Capcom games were built in, there were people that were like, "Oh, that's cool." And there were people like, "No, this is dumb. I want everything on physical cards."
well, I mean, yeah, but that decision affected literally everybody that bought the product, right? You either have the product on the thing and you get it, or you don't. But you were able to buy it in every territory. This would be a different story. This would be essentially a region lockout.
I think the difference there is the fact that we know that there's the possibility they may not have the license to actually make a cart. So this is the only way they could put those games out.
Right. Yep.
Ooh, I know you. So, Ballistic Coffin Boy says he'd like to see an Atari Alpha.
Ooh, that would be kind of cool.
It would be interesting only if it had a built-in spinner or trackball.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That would be rad. Yeah, and then you would have like all the classic games that would control really well. And then, I would even say, you could even build in certain 2600 ROMs that would work well with the spinner, like a Breakout or a Night Driver or something like that.
So
well,
okay,
even like the arcade games with this, spinner trackball.
So that would be the rub. So let's say they do that. Let's say now you can play like Centipede and you can play all those games, the built-in ones on the Alpha. Are they going to go back and are they going to update the carts? Probably not. Like that would be exclusive, right? Just to
Wait a minute. You can play that with a spin. You could play it right now with a trackball if you wanted. Centipede. You
Really?
can play it with a spinner. Yeah. I mean, think about it. I have there's something I have that has a trackball, right? If I plug it into my PC, right, the trackballs controls the mouse. So all you gotta do is plug it into the fourth port or whatever port you need to plug it in, and then trackball. If it works like a mouse, then you could, because it has mouse support now, it works. That spinner I have, it works like if I plug it into my computer, it moves the mouse backward, back, left, and right. So I could play Breakout with the spinner on the Evercade.
Nice. Hey, real quick, DS, we're good. Let's just move on. I didn't block you, okay? I didn't ban you. We're good. If I was really offended, I would have done that. You just triggered me. We can move on, okay? We can move on. No, rest in peace, Morley. You stop it. We're fine. It's all good. It's fine. It's fine. We can move on. Supposedly coming in September. Yeah, but or who said it was going to be like an Atari 50? Like have 50 game? I don't like.
I like an Atari 50 cab. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even mind it if they did that and then put some of those more modern games on it too.
That would be cool.
Well past 50 now. I mean, we'd have to be 51 or 52.
Well, yeah. I mean, at this point, it'd be like Atari 55. Oh, wow! I got to the end of the run already. Oh,
yeah. It's a tough. Yeah, it's a tough. I think that would do well, but Blaze has to choose. That I think they're going to go Neo Geo now since they partnered with them. Like they kind of have to.
It would be really funny, I think, if they put out another Evercade Alpha and it wasn't Neo Geo. That would be hilarious to me.
That would be
the only thing. It's the only thing people have been asking. I haven't heard anybody aside from this Atari Alpha. I haven't heard of anything.
Holy crap! Oh my goodness! James Birch comes out of the shadows and gives me 5 Evercade memberships. Holy shit! Holy shit! Thank you so much. You know what that? Awesome. Okay. Which one should I do? I gotta do something. All right, let's do this. Wow, half the chat didn't drop. Awesome. I swear, usually when I do that, actually when I was streaming, I said like this thing was cute and like I don't know. Maybe it was a coincidence.
Was that what you were trying to do? Kick everybody out?
Yeah, thanks, dude. I appreciate your support. They could update. Awesome. They would need to add. So sorry. So they could back to what we were saying about the Atari Alpha. They would only need to update the Atari Alpha. The games on it already have it in the code. Oh, for the trackball support. Yeah, that's okay. I see what. So what he means is if they made the devices, the original games would be fine.
Yeah,
that's cool.
They will laugh if they do like a data ease. I'm surprised they haven't actually.
No, it would be hilarious. This would be like an interplay Evercade Alpha. Oh,
yeah,
even better.
Gremlin
Alpha.
Oh my god.
Gremlin Alpha.
Oh my god. I would almost have to buy that just to do a video. It'd be like the biggest waste of money, but
it's like a company that has never put out an arcade game. Let's give them an Evercade Alpha.
I mean, just based on the amount of arcade cartridges there were, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they put a Toaplan one out.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean,
4 parts worth of games.
The only reason I could think of that they wouldn't put out a Neo Geo Evercade Alpha, if they put an Alpha and it was something else, would be the fact that they couldn't get the rights to do that for whatever reason. Because like every time you hear somebody talking about it, it'd be like, well, I didn't buy one, but I'd buy it if it was a Neo Geo Evercade Alpha. That's all you hear.
True, but then what's interesting about that, I know like Gene always says, he's like, it's fine because I can just put in my Neo Geo cart into the Alpha since he got, and then he can play it. But yeah, I know.
You could say that without any of the Alphas.
Ooh.
But the funny thing is like the design. That's what I would care about, would be like the design of the machine, you know?
Yeah.
Holy crap, though! That is interesting fandom. It would have been interesting if Blaze would have purchased Arcade 1-Up.
That would have been a wild turn of events.
Yeah.
It looks like that other deal though was already in the works way before they even announced the fact that they were going to get bought. What was it? Family Fun or something like that?
Basic Fun.
Basic Fun. Basic
Yes.
Fun. Yeah. So.
But I wonder if they
What
got all
was
the
funny,
licensing,
though,
like Marvel
was
versus
that
Capcom, and I don't know. That would have been.
Basic Fun had put out their own, like, kind of arcade one-up size cabinets, and they were not received well at all.
Oh no, that doesn't bode well.
No. Yes, we are in Texas here. We are the path of bad storms.
Yep. Yeah. Anyone else that's in the U.S. area getting in the way, I think. Yeah, many members of the U.S. contingent of the GTC are, I think, all in the pathway. So hopefully everyone else is going to be safe, locking in, playing some games. I know I am. The only thing I have to worry about is digging out on probably Monday morning. But all day, like as soon as we get back from dinner tonight, it'll be, I don't have anything else to do but watch snow and play games. Heck yeah, let's do it.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
I want to be.
Yeah, the kids are probably going to get me into watching another movie though. We've started the journey through the MCU.
Oh, I see.
And we just did a Incredible Hulk. So
So you're like on the second movie.
well, so we were doing it in a weird order, but we did Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, then Incredible Hulk, and then we're going to do Iron Man 2 and Avengers. And then, the rest of it.
So why not do them in order if you're going to do them all?
I don't know.
True.
Because in the beginning, it doesn't really matter. They're not really super that connected yet.
Well, like the post-credit scenes kind of are.
Yeah. So they haven't broken things too much yet, but we'll snap back into order when we get to the Avengers.
You can skip Thor 2.
It's like you can skip Thor 2.
So is this what? Is this the pattern with Blaze? Because they wanted to hit it hard with title last year. They're planning. Is it if they're planning on doing a Neo Geo Alpha this year with the MVS to support it? Kind of like how the pockets came out first and then the alphas.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the pattern? Is that the pattern with Blaze? Is that enforced since we got a Neo Geo Pocket that we're gonna get?
It's possible. I mean,
I don't know. I wouldn't be looking too much into a pattern.
Yeah, I think it just, it is going to be what it's going to be.
They need to come out with the red alpha, Rich, just so you can do that video.
Oh, I'm totally. I actually just talked about that yesterday with some work colleagues, and they were like, "Wait, what is that video? What does that look like again? How hard would it be?" And then we watched the video, and then figured out that we just took apart something in our office that had a huge platform on it, and I was like, "Well, there's the dolly right there, done."
Oh my God.
Let's just put a piece of plywood on it and let's roll. Literally, I can't. They have to do it. It's gonna happen. So then, and I already got volunteers. The same people I just talked about at work. They'll be like, "Yeah, we'll pull you around town. That's fine. Let's go." So I'm like, "Sweet,
dude." I want to do a reaction video. That's so bad.
It's gonna happen. I mean,
either that
first they have to put that thing out, and then it'll happen.
Yes. Or if they don't, I feel like they just need to kind of make one just for you to do that.
Yeah.
Just take a regular alpha or make it I don't know, 3D. Send you one of those 3D print some stuff. I don't know. But it'd be cool if it was an official thing.
Yeah, that's a good pun, David. That was good.
A bit of a Thor spot with Marvel.
Nice times. So I forgot. Yeah, there's and there's new games too. Like 2 new games came out on. Wow, that's pretty awesome. 40
I know.
Evercade games. That's crazy.
How much did you do that for? Shit.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, that's like half your collection right there. If you didn't have anything else before.
Yeah.
40 Evercade games. That's about half because we're almost at 80. So.
Damn.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. So.
Oh, wow.
What are we doing? In the in-betweens? What do we got going on in the channels?
Those are all good questions. I guess that you brought up also. Yeah, we ran longer today. I didn't even realize.
Yeah.
I think tonight. That's actually. I'll probably do more streaming this weekend, being snowed in and tonight. And I'm not sure what my next video is going to be. I really don't. Obviously, it'll be Evercade related, but I need to figure it out. Maybe a follow up on the Llamasoft collection. I don't know.
That's cool. Yeah.
Well, I've been playing the Bitmap Brothers too.
Nice.
I should have been done with Cadaver, but I might have Stockholm syndrome with that game.
Nice.
Oh my god.
That's very cool. It's very cool. So for me, we've gotten done with. I was actually just about to mention we've gotten done with pretty much all of the boxes that I could possibly open. And then David's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna watch that." That's awesome. And then now it's time for games, and Atari decided they're gonna put out the 2 more games. I was already, I think, 9 behind, and now I'm 11 behind. So more Fun for Fives coming in Atari VCS, that's for sure. And then I think
Welcome to my world.
yeah, exactly. And then I think I might actually start doing some more of those Activision live streams over the weekend. So like check it out tomorrow afternoon, because I might just pop up a live stream and just play for an hour or two, just trying to get some more patches or scores and stuff.
Nice.
And then other than that, that's it. We're just hanging in, doing videos, and all that fun stuff. I got to get back to playing Lunar. Speaking of David's comment, so yeah, we'll figure it all out. It'll be fun.
Awesome.
So come on in and hang out.
Very, very, very cool. Yeah, lots of good stuff going on the channels, and I'm sure Pete will come out with his cool videos on his usual usual stuff. I forget he has that whatever that. Oh my god, Karg. Oh my god, Phantom. Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta do that. We gotta target at least, I don't know. Maybe if we say it out loud, it'll happen. Let's target the first week of February.
You've been saying it for a long time, so
I know, but we just say like, hey, we said it out loud. First week of February, we're gonna do something. And then if it doesn't happen, then everyone can just yell at us.
Yeah.
So let's do it. First week of February. Because I can't do it. I can't do it next week because I'm away. I'm away in Atlantic City from Wednesday to Friday. So, and I'm going to be busy Tuesday night editing a video that has nothing to do with Bacon Ice Cream Productions. So, just because because we have endeavored to do news programming for the school that I work at. So
nice.
Yeah, I can't let them down. Gotta have the video go out. So anyway. What's that?
Well, that's all. That's it. Thanks, everyone. As always, we appreciate it. I'm going to thank my channel members. And thanks again, James, for the subs. So whoever got those memberships, there's a lot of catching up and a lot of weirdness you'll need to watch. Anyways, thanks, everyone, so much. And bye-bye. Thanks, Crashline, Immortal Sojourn, Amber Cummings, Joe Whitlush, Alex Groot. Oh, yeah!